All right, well, we're in the video making mood. I guess I'll make 2 videos in one day. So I guess I'll start with this 318. I've made a few videos recording some big projects that I was working on, and a couple of them, I think this was I was picking stuff up with this engine hoist on the back here. But unfortunately, I kind of finished these projects and didn't record the remaining portion of, whatever I was doing. And so, unfortunately, the videos never got posted. But I've had this for, I guess roughly 4 years, something like that. I picked it up for $700. It had turf tires, a 48-inch replacement deck. We threw a new carburetor on it, factory carb, and got it running awesome. And then I threw these 26 1212s on the back. I picked up another 318 that was rough but in running condition. And I got these wheel weights, and when I was there picking that up, I had found this 4-way blade in the bushes, and they kind of threw that in on the deal. So I sandblasted it, gave it a fresh paint job, cut the cylinders open, replaced the seals because they were leaking pretty bad. Had 4 hoses made, and then I replaced the hydraulic connections on the tractor. If you can't tell by the Mardi Gras beads, this is South Louisiana, so I really don't have much use for a snowplow, but it does work well for my gravel driveway and doing dirt work. Although in the next 5 days we're supposed to get a bunch of snow, so I might get to see what all the hype is that you northern folks are doing, pushing around snow with y'all's blades. I don't have a snowblower, but at least I'll maybe get to tinker around with that and see how that works. I got a 3-spool hydraulic valve that I put on here so that way I can independently control the up, down, left, right from the deck lift 3-point, since those two are controlled together. 420, 430 trans swap. I've got 2-speed, and which is here, and diff lock, which is there. Absolute game changer for this rig here, with all the stuff that I do for it, or with it, sorry. That diff lock and that low range is absolutely awesome. So this engine hoist here was just a little marketplace find, Harbor Freight engine hoist. I chopped the bottom off and welded it to a 2-inch receiver, and it just plums right in on there. This is an awesome attachment to have. I've saved my back 1,000 times having this. It's really awesome having it. Anybody that's on the 300 and 400 page, you probably are familiar with that Canadian fella, Joycelyn. I did buy a set of CAD plans for the quick connect front end loaders that attach on the front of these. I need to cut my brackets out, but I've got my 3 cylinders here for it. So that with a set of forks, a bucket would be cool, but a set of forks will be way more usable for me. So I'll probably have forks and a bucket. But even just getting these guys off this shelf and putting them on a trailer during the summer months to drop them in the water, that'll be awesome. About 4 or 5 months ago, I picked up this 332 for $140. It's got 500, I think it had 534 hours when I bought it. And this is the original hour meter. Let's see if we can get in there and you can see that. Kind of tough. But it's 539.7 hours. And 534 is when I changed the oil. That's when I first got it. Awesome running little unit. It needs 3 glow plugs. The glow plugs are bad. Other than that, I replaced the voltage regulator on it. Picked that up from John Deere for about $120. So this 48-inch replacement deck is off of the 318. This one did come with one that's, I would say, in equivalent shape, which is pretty awesome. If you know anything about these tractors, you know that the 48-inch replacement decks go for between, you know, $600 and $1,200. So just that alone was worth what I paid for the tractor, not on top of the fact that it's a low-hour unit that runs. So, and everything kind of looks like this and a lot more rust. The hood polished out pretty well, and I sanded the paint off the sides, the front support, and the grill, and the frame, and repainted all that stuff. And this is a little bit rough, so I'm hoping that maybe I can find one for a good deal and not have to do too much body work on this. But if I can't within the next year, then I'll just have to kind of clean this up as best I can and sandblast it and paint it, and then maybe do that with the wheels. I did get a brand new seat with a batch of stuff that I bought a few weeks ago, which included that seat, this 318, this 317, and a 320, which is a little bit newer. I don't know anything about those other than the fact that it has a V-twin liquid-cooled Kawasaki engine on it. The fella that had these, myself and my neighbor bought a replacement deck from this guy a few years back, and this 317 belonged to his dad. His dad bought it brand new in '81, and shortly after he bought it, he got in a car accident and passed away. So the guy that owned all this, not the original owner, but the second owner, the son, he and his wife mowed with this for many years until the Series 1 Kohler gave out like they all do. The 318, he picked that up, and he was working on getting it fixed up. He pulled the heads to get all the carbon off the heads and the pistons and kind of do a gasket job on the engine and all that good stuff. But by the time he got into all that, he was starting to have some arthritis issues and just didn't have the strength and the steam left in him to follow through with it, unfortunately. Both of these have some fairly nice 50-inch decks. This one has both of the belt covers, so that's really cool. This 317, I've never even really considered getting a 317 before, but I really like it. It's a cool mower, and it's got kind of a cool history behind it. So just the idea of being able to fix this up and get it up and running again, just for the fact that the previous owner was trying to do that since it was his dad's, I think that'll be cool to just make it a dedicated lawn cutter. He did still have all the engine components. This is the two crankcase halves. He's got I think this is a new carburetor in this box, 2 new pistons and rings, connecting rods, crankshaft that went to machine shop. Both heads went to the machine shop. There's a little bit of surface rust that I think can just be honed off. Those are the heads for the 318 and the 317 below it. He sandblasted them. New gaskets. What else we got? Those are the old pistons there. Extra set of 318 covers that I have. Another set of 318 covers that he had, plus a set of 332 and possibly 322 covers. I'm not sure if it fits on the 22s, but that was pretty cool because I know for a fact that he never had a 322 or a 332 through previous conversations that he and I had. So that's cool to find a good straight set of covers for this because these are a little bit beat up. I did my best to clean them up, but they were really mangled up. So when I have a little more time and I give this a full resto, I'll have a fresh set of covers to throw on there, and that'll be cool. Something else really cool that I got is, unfortunately, I just freaking stopped the video. I hope that transition works out well. Anyways, this nice set of 12-inch covers, hubcaps, which is awesome. Still in the original box. So that's really cool. So he was going to put those on the 317, so maybe I can get my hands on a set of front covers, and we'll have this sucker hubcapped out. What else? Oh, on the 317, my dad has a Cub 582 that he wants to swap this Kohler onto. So we actually might have a Series 2 Kohler to put on the 317. So that could be an option. There's also this 16 horse Onan off of a Sears mower. So we could always put that on there too, I guess. Not sure if it's worth throwing that Series 1 back together, even with all the new parts. I don't know. I'd like some input on that if anybody has suggestions. I believe my dad kind of, his thought process was that it probably wasn't necessarily worth it, considering that it's a lubrication issue that has to do with maybe the crank bearings or such. So, yeah. What else we got going on? Oh, John Deere stuff. We got this 9940 cab, which is pretty cool. Marketplace strikes again. I was able to scrap the subframe and stuff and make money on this ordeal, so that wasn't bad. Mostly picked it up because the interior and the glass is in perfect shape, and I was going to part this out on eBay, and I got busy with work and it wound up in my way, so I built this drill pipe frame over the fridge and set it up there with the forklift. And now it's kind of become the photo booth of the town. So the Trooper, let's see, I blew the transmission up. I threw these 39 and a half, 18 boggers on it, and I would say within 150, 200 miles, it shit the bed. That's pretty much, I can't even dull that down anymore. It absolutely shit the bed. So we're going to replace this L52 Toyota transmission with a W56. The L52 was probably too weak to be behind an OM617 turbo diesel to begin with. So we were on borrowed time anyways. So we'll be doing that. We'll be doing a serpentine belt conversion, and we'll also be doing a diesel mechan injection pump swap along with a bigger turbo and an intercooler. We'll do all that, I don't know, hopefully before the summer. I'm going to pull the body on it, clean the frame up real good. I've got to shorten my rear shaft and lengthen the front one because the W56 is like 6.5 inches longer than this L52. And then the horse collar bracket that's under here for the transfer cases will have to be moved further back. And then I can get rid of this makeshift one that I had before. I had this horse collar style one. And then we can get this thing cruising off road again and beat some stuff up on it. But yeah, other than that, I think that's about all that's going on up in the shop. Hopefully I'll get this guy a little loosened up, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'm gonna keep some videos coming in 2025 though. I'm gonna try to keep that momentum going. Thanks for watching.